The views and opinions expressed on From the Mouths of Madness are that of the panel and not of the Geeks Under the Influence Network or their sponsors, Amazon.com and tpublic.com. Listeners, beware. Coming straight from the Mouths of Madness, I am one of the hosts, Lowdown. With me, as always, is...
F.U. Hunter. What's up, you Crypt Keeper bitches?
Oh,
yeah.
Crypt Keeper bitches. I like it. Yeah, so us Madness guys, we decided in honor of Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness dropping this month, you know, and that is, it's directed by Sam Raimi. Everybody, don't sleep on that. Directed by Sam Raimi. I'm going to say it again. Directed by Sam Raimi. We decided to shine a light on just the history of horror in comics. And we thought of no one else better to bring on this episode than Trey Vanneman.
Hello.
Yeah, no, our buddy Trey, he is like a comic guru.
Nah.
You got the term. You
Yeah.
no, dude.
You got it.
You
Yeah,
got it,
we're
dude.
tagging
That's
it.
I read a lot of funny books.
And, you know, just a man who appreciates the history as well as it is a business, understanding that. So, as Kevin Feige clearly understands it's a business to make accurate movies, like, or at least movies that fall into the timeline they've created that don't piss off fans. You know, you understand the business of comics, and
Yeah, there's money to be made.
Exactly.
There is money to be made.
but to understand the business, you need to understand the history
Yeah.
and what's worth what. So we're like, this is the perfect episode for you, bro. This is the perfect episode for you, man. Shit, dude. So I mean, let's dive in. So, from my understanding of when horror really appeared in comics, what was it? Gilbert Publications. What was it? Classic Comics number 13 in 1943 was an adaptation of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Was technically like considered the first like horror.
Jumping into it.
Yeah, I mean, Jekyll and Hyde, dude, that fucking story's horrific. Like,
Yeah, absolutely. But you know what's more horrific is you're immediately schooling me on comic book knowledge. I mean, right out the gate. Right out the gate.
He's got notes.
Oh,
though.
wow, that's interesting
He used
stuff.
the internet.
I didn't know that.
no, I knew that.
What the fuck
I
is the
just
internet?
Made notes.
Yeah.
Don't take away my credibility.
I'm trying to help our guru out, all right?
No, because he's about to fuck
Thank
me up in
you.
about
Yeah.
10 minutes, dude. So let me enjoy this.
Oh, we get some modern horror comics.
Oh, yeah,
That's what I'm saying. You guys are gonna fuck me up,
Yeah,
dude.
it's going to get like...
I mean, seriously, anything Golden Age. So, for lack of a better, so that's a comic book term.
What is
So,
Golden Age, Trey?
Golden Age is anything about pre-1956.
Yeah.
So
So
that's
pretty much
Pre-code.
zero books
way
in my
pre-code.
collection.
Pre-code,
Well,
yeah.
pre-code. Pre-code. Pretty much, you only hear that in association with horror comics.
That's what's basically started it.
Yeah,
Made the initial,
and
when it
because
come out.
horror comics was the focal point of why they put the pre-code means the comics code that you'll see on comic books. They don't do it anymore, but they did it from when did they start doing that?
I'd say probably...
70 no. I'm sorry,
50s on.
Comics code was 1954.
54.
Yeah.
Okay,
And reason for it is that you had...
really awesome book.
Let's just jump in right into
Really
EC
awesome book.
Comics.
Yes.
Yeah.
And pretty much they
EC
said,
Comics.
you know what? Anything goes. Let's have some
Yeah.
fun. And at the time, everybody still looked at comics as only kids. reading.
Yeah.
Archie
Absolutely.
and fucking, all that.
Absolutely.
And the
Yeah,
writers and the artists didn't give two shits that it was only kids
Oh,
because
God, no.
there's literally an EC comic. Was it? I can't remember Tales of Crypt with the decapitated woman's head.
Well,
With the axe.
EC Comics
that's a
had three.
fantastic cover. That's been cover swiped by I don't
Everybody,
know how many,
yeah.
I mean,
Was
there's
it
a
Tales-
Wolverine
was it-
cover where he's holding Sabretooth's head.
Yeah.
It's
Was it Tales? Because EC had three. They had Vault of. They had
Well,
the Vault
I think
of
it was Vault-
Horror.
it was Vault of Horror.
Horror,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
But I'm just saying that's the amount of shit they gave for a children's book. Is that here? You should check out this book. Here's a
Well,
woman's
and
head, and we're
also-
talking about in the fucking 40s. All right.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Also, there's a premium for any cover that depicts a sharp object going into someone's eyeball. I mean, I'm serious. There is a cult following of comic covers, all pre-code, where there's a sharp object either inserted or about to be inserted into somebody's eye.
No shit.
I'm not joking.
No
Yes.
shit.
That's crazy.
No, there's a fantastic cover of I've only got one. They're hard to get. It was a run. It went, I want to say 13 issues, and it was the first issue was called Terrific, and then the rest of them were called Horrific, and they were highlighted in why we have the comics code, and this fella's whose name is escaping me at the moment, who wrote a book.
I was about to get into that. I don't know if you have the notes, but the book is what changed everything. It's called Seduction of the Innocents.
And, and it basically said all the things that are warping our precious little children's minds, and comic books were highlighted.
All the comics. That's the reason.
Well, it was comics before the video games, right? It was the comics.
Well, we're in 1950s. So
I'm saying, but no, like then the 80s and 90s kicked in. Oh, it's the video games.
Actually, even more hardcore.
Oh God,
than
yes.
the video
this
games.
is when book burnings were going on. So mom and dad are rounding up the comics. They're going on the pyre.
Companies going out of business because pretty much they were banning them. Where you could go to any drugstore, there were comics, and then all these drugstores saying, I'm not going to do this, I'm going to be a part of this. Because of this book, it just took on this movement and literally killed EC Comics. I mean, killed DC to the point where DC, even some of the stuff that they had coming up, they had to make it stupid is the best way I could put it. Where they all of a sudden Batman, it's not just Batman, it's Batman Robin. Batman Robin plus Batgirl plus, and just adding on. It's a bad family.
Is that when Eggman came out as a villain for Batman?
Pretty much. This is where you get to the really lame parts of it.
None of the publishing companies were legally bound to go through the comics code. They did not. There was nobody saying that they had to have that stamp on there.
But nobody was selling their shit.
Nobody would sell it. So it was kind of an unspoken, you've got to do this.
Yeah, like
so it's a third party.
Like, they made their own kind of kind of like the MPA now, like where MPA, that's the studios working together to, have a rating system. Comic books did that before that with the comic code, where they said, oh, no, we got a code, and it has to pass this code in order for children to be able to have access to it. Can you please sell our book again? Because we're not making any fucking money.
And that didn't get bucked until the 80s, and that was by Stan Lee, because there was a 3-issue Spider-Man story arc and it was very anti-drug. It was a good message. And in a nutshell, basically, Spider-Man gets a hard-on for these drug dealers that, someone he knew had died of an overdose or something like that. And so he's going hardcore after these drug dealers, and it was heroin. And so the story arc gets submitted to the Comics Code, and they came back and they're like, well, you can't publish it.
There's drugs.
Well, why not? And they're like, well, you're talking about drugs. And they're like, yeah, but it's a very good message for kids. This is a very anti-drug. They're seeing the repercussions of it. This is not glorifying it. This is not romanticizing it.
It's the reality of it.
Spider-Man is, the very anti-drug good guy, like always. And we're showing the very realistic, hardcore, but in a way that kids can understand it. So I can't think of a better message we could be putting in our kids. And this is the days of Nancy Reagan, too. You can't turn around without this is your brain on drugs,
Dare,
all that stuff.
All that shit, yeah.
And Comics Code is like, sorry, our rules say there is no reference to drugs whatsoever, and you're referencing drugs, so write it again. And he's like, no, fuck you. Fuck you. I stand behind this. I know this is a good message, so I'm going to put this out. And so those are the 3 comics that, during the reign of the Comics Code, are the 3 that were published by any of the
There is one other book,
What about
though?
DC with the Green Arrow?
And that's what's
what about that one? How DC get away with that, man? The cover has Green Arrow fucking shit.
That's also the start of the Bronze Age.
Mike has that.
That is considered the very definitive shift between the Silver Age and the Bronze Age. Thank you, Neil Adams.
Yeah.
Neil Adams did that.
So you had your EC Comics pre-code, heavy as shit, decapitated women on the covers, and then the code happens, and then you had the slight build up.
The thing that was lost because of that era of America with the EC Comics. So what was the big? We had the old Haunt of Fear, Vault of Horror,
Tales
and then
it
started out as the
weird stories too.
Yeah. And weird stories, weird stories.
There's weird stories, weird tales. There was tons of them.
The thing that got missed about that, though, is the fact that all the stories were like had a sense of poetic justice in the ending.
Yeah,
it wasn't
like
just
monkey's paw type stuff.
Or like cheating husband, cheating wife. They got just desserts stuff, like.
I mean, the best way to explain it is the Tales of Crypt show.
Yeah.
Is based off those comics, and the very first episode is the Santa Claus one, where literally the woman murders her husband and then
deals with the psycho.
deal with the
it's
psychotic
like
Santa
you're
Claus.
getting your comeuppance.
Yeah.
That's basically what
And that's
all
kind
three of those did, and
Yeah.
like that got lost though because that's a good moral story if you ask me.
Okay, and I'm not defending the comics code here, but that is not always the case.
It's not always the
sometimes
case,
it
no.
is just like, oh, look, John and Suzanne. Oh, God,
Yeah.
terrible
Sometimes.
things happen to
Sometimes,
all,
yes,
but are probably great people.
Yeah.
I mean, so we'll never know because they fucking died,
True, but I think it gave more. I think that overall, EC was giving more of a story than just hack and slash like horror at the time.
But it's still, if you think about their target audience.
Yes,
Okay,
fair.
and now as a father, it's looking at those, and I love comic books in any form, whatever. There are things that I've got a 9-year-old son and a 2-year-old daughter, and my 9-year-old for a few years now has been able to handle comics and whatever, and so he reads them from time to time. Hell no, fuck no, I'm not giving
Now,
that to him.
I will
we had
say-
a discussion today on whether or not he was old enough to watch,
I will say, I feel like the comic.
No.
I feel like the comic code where you had extreme with EC Comics, and when they did the comic code, it went so over the top with it because
Absolutely.
Early Batman, when you introduce the Joker kills motherfuckers left and right, and when
Batman
the code-
used a gun. back
Batman
in the
carried a
day.
gun.
Yeah.
Batman carried a gun.
and they put Batman lumped in with EC Comics, where there's a lot more fucked up shit going on. So when the code came out, all of a sudden, their Joker's not really killing many people, and all this stuff, and to stay safe. And it's like, well, we weren't really talking about like the random thugs that Joker, kills with toxin. We were more talking about the fucked up stories, but everything got covered. Everything. The comic code was so hardcore. I think there was a GOI episode actually where we read some of the rules.
We did.
And it was like, you must always say thank you if you receive this. And like these stupid fucking rules.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
like, how do you do horror when like you're like a man always, opens the door for a woman in a comic? Like, well, wait, what? What the fuck are you talking about? So yeah.
Yeah, there's. I'm not going to say his name. There's a comic artist who is exceptionally talented at what he does, and he's an absolute schmuck. But he does have this one thing that I'm rarely envious of people's possessions, but this is so gee whiz neat. He has a first edition copy of Seduction.
I know who you're talking about.
I know you know who I'm talking about, but I'm not going to say it on.
That's very Canadian of you. Sorry.
No. Actually, I don't think we're talking about the same guy.
wow, okay.
I don't think we're talking about the same guy. Anyway, he's
Who
got.
ever Steven right now?
Yeah.
We're so comic nerds. Like,
We are.
yeah, I know you're talking about.
Like, okay, you guys go to the same cons, obviously. So, no, this guy's got a copy of Seduction of the Youth, or Innocence. And that's what he uses to get other artists and writers' autographs in. And
Which
I
is
think
pretty fucking cool.
Which is a very, very cool way to collect autographs.
Yeah.
It's kind of giving the finger to the,
Oh, yeah.
damn the man.
Totally. Yeah. No.
And it's a gee whiz thing. I mean, he's still a schmuck at the end of the day, but I really like his book.
Yeah.
So let's start to build up, I guess, into where testing the waters.
So
I guess.
okay, so in the '60s, post code, they did start bringing back like there were Dracula comics, there was Frankenstein, and I they were trying to insert Edgar Allan Poe. There were comics based around his stuff, so they were trying to still insert horror elements while trying to follow and flow under the code. And of course, guess what? Didn't really work too well.
Some did, some didn't. I mean, as far as a comic reader, and I don't think I started really getting into any of the horror stuff until it was like the 70s Marvel horror stuff. So you've got like Tomb of Dracula.
And it was still a lot really kind of safe. Like
It was
it was absolutely.
He
No,
would
no, it's
drain-
Nerf.
He
It's
would
Nerf horror.
drain the energy from people.
Oh, absolutely.
Not
They
the
made
blood.
Morbius a plasma
the
sucker,
energy.
right?
Yeah.
They made Morbius a plasma sucker.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, fuck, come on.
I mean,
like,
but you still have little bits of testing things here or there where there's a Captain America book where they bring back Baron Blood and like he's pretty much murdered the shit out of people, but you don't see a murder. You just see the leg in the alleyway in which
Dun,
you know.
dun, dun.
so they took
that
it back to
person's
the
not
1930s
alive.
Universal monster movies where you see the shadow of the
Pretty
kill.
much,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what
And they
did.
kind of
Yes.
tested the level of what you could get away with when it came to murder, where it's like, well, you can suggest murder. You just can't show him ripping a chick's neck and she bleeding out, but you can show her leg in the alleyway and go, let's put two and two together, kids.
Yeah.
You kind
It's
of can figure it out.
understood that she is no longer with
Yeah.
us.
Yes.
So there was little tests here and there of like, we'll get away with. And then obviously, like we're saying, after a while, Comic Code was kind of like, this is kind of maybe DC was like, you know what? We'll do our own imprint.
Yeah.
And we're not going to follow the code, but it's imprint. You still are safe with your superheroes, but we're going to call it Vertigo.
And I was going to say 1993, baby. Vertigo is
test out what we can do. Again, you already warned.
This is back when DC was good. I miss those days.
Yeah.
And you know what? There's some good stuff out of DC.
You know, you don't have the code on there, but you have a little line, and that was a safety line for mature readers only.
Yep.
And that was the safety net for them to get away
with that. We got
John Constantine, the Sandman. Yes,
dude, come on.
Absolutely.
Those are like some of the first.
Both.
Yeah.
Excellent reads.
Well, and then
issue 4 of Sandman is where they go. It takes place in a diner, and some fucked up shit happens. That's Neil Gaiman going, I'm making a horror comic because there's characters. The Sandman character is involved ish in this issue, but it's all about people being massacred.
Oh, just yes, in a gruesome, horrifying, just bloody.
And that's I would say that's the first stamp of we're going the horror direction with Vertigo, because issue 4 of Sandman says it, and then you get Hellblazer and you get Constantine, and it says we're going full on demons.
And
no matter if anybody who's listening to this and has watched, the Constantine movie or watched anything with John Constantine on the screen but has never read Hellblazer, you absolutely have to stop what you're doing and start reading Hellblazer.
Yeah.
Nothing, no matter how good or bad, nothing is going to ever compare to reading Hellblazer.
I'll say this.
So unbelievably
You
good.
think the little girl in Exorcist is tortured.
Oh, no.
That's a movie.
No.
You have an entire run of this little girl, and it's fucked up.
It's really a mind fuck.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hellblazer. It's oh god, it was such an amazing. I'm assuming we've already read it, right? I mean, it's just that good. You just reread Hellblazer.
Yes.
I mean, we've got that Keanu Reeves film, and then we had, and now, albeit the series wasn't bad for what they did with it.
Oh, here we go.
Okay. I'm going to disagree. And I'm not laying blame in any particular person's feet, but like the actor, I think, was fine enough.
And that's more what I mean is the actor playing.
Yeah, the actor was fine enough, but he was so on purpose disheveled. That was the cleanest disheveled I've ever seen. Yeah. I mean, that was the cleanest shirt anyone has ever slept in for 4 days. You know, I mean, it's like
that's the most
his gelled
blonde hair.
Exactly.
It
took hours to look like you don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
you know, I mean,
fair.
It's like that's not Constantine.
Yeah, but it was also started on, what was it, NBC? So,
yeah, exactly. I mean, it's that was one of those things where it's just like, oh, please don't mess with the things that matter to me. Just don't.
But I also do agree, like, listeners, if you have not read any Hellblazer, God, read Hellblazer.
Yes.
That was, I remember the first time, I picked up an issue in the middle of, I can't remember what arc it was, but I was like, holy shit. I remember going back later that day because there was a comic shop I could walk to from my grandparents' house, and I was like, where's the rest of this so I can start reading it from the beginning, because this is all, like, it just blew my fucking mind. I hadn't read anything like that up to that point. And then after that, you started getting into more slightly watered down things with like Ghost Rider and Johnny Blaze and all, and where you still bring in the demonic elements, but it's not as hardcore.
They're creatures of the night, superheroes. Yeah, you had the whole Night Shift crew and all of that, and that was Marvel going, well, they're kind of fucked up, Morbius and fucking and everybody with that, but there's still that kind of like safety. We still want the code, so you're not going that hardcore.
DC had it.
DC also did that with some of their characters. Like, they're gonna push a little horror elements, but not anything like Dead Man and characters like that. Swamp Thing,
yeah. I give Swamp Thing like a really, like, it walks that line.
It does.
I think.
It does.
I'll say this is that I think this is where the independent publishers jumped in and said,
absolutely,
we'll take the horror element. And
what's the one of the
early
biggest ones?
Dark Horse.
Yeah,
Dark Horse did a lot of horror. I mean, their Alien
Predator, dude.
Their Aliens comics alone was way more. I mean, yes, it's sci-fi, it's aliens. You're on a different planet or whatever. It was way more horror than it was anything else.
Oh,
I mean,
totally.
That was more, I think, in line with the first movie.
It was
because that was a horror movie that
Dark
took place in
Dark Horse was the first to kind of say,
through.
We'll take on aliens. It was
almost like Jaws in space.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
just that suspenseful. We got to get this one monster fucking killing everybody off.
If you're going to put everything in its box, I would throw Alien into the horror box before I'd put it into the sci-fi box.
Yes, totally, 100%. We've talked about that repeatedly about like you can't. People are like, "What do you like better, Alien or Aliens?" They're two different fucking movies, dude. I can't. Aliens is an action movie. Alien is a horror movie.
It's apples and Toyotas.
Exactly. I can't compare the two. Like, I love them both for different reasons. It's like Terminator and Terminator 2. Terminator almost stands aside as a horror movie versus Terminator 2.
Okay, I know it's not part of the trivia, but I have a great trivia question.
Oh, Jesus.
All right.
What actor has been killed by a Terminator, a Predator, and a Xenomorph?
Oh, Bill Paxton.
God damn it.
It was an easy one,
And
but
we had
I like bringing it
That
up.
was actually a question.
Yeah.
Game over,
That's been a question before, man. Where he's like, "Hey, man, where's your clothes, man?" He's fucking all punked. That's fucking.
I just like.
There's one person that's behind him, but only by one of them.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah. He's been killed by a Terminator and been killed by, well, this will give it away, sort of killed by an alien.
Sort of killed.
Did John Hurt get killed by a Terminator?
No, I was just going to say Lance Henderson, like,
Lance
pretty much,
Henderson,
yeah.
Yeah.
And I was just trying to, like,
He was killed by Terminator in the first one. He was the chief.
hey, you know what?
That's right.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Technically, and I don't want to really reference this fucking movie, but isn't he killed by a Predator in Alien versus Predator because he's the founder that brings him to the pyramid?
yeah.
Oh
No,
my
he
God!
is. So,
yeah, I watched
he
that one time.
also is the three-part. He's in the three
He's
team
in-
too.
he's
That's
in
just a much
the-
more deep cut than like Bill Paxton.
And I don't ever want
crazy
to
ass fucking
reference
character
Alien vs. Predators ever again. So
No,
I
that
feel
movie was
dirty.
so
I need to
bad.
take a shower right
Movie's
now for
so
referencing
bad.
that shit.
It's so bad.
But I want to bring up, besides Dark Horse, and it was kind of my real big jump into
I know where
horror
you're going
comics,
with this.
was fucking Chaos Comics.
Yes.
And a character called
Yes.
Evil Ernie.
Evil Ernie, baby. I was waiting for that shit.
Which,
'cause
right-
I still have a stack of OG fucking Evil Ernies at the house, bro.
I mean, in the room we're recording, I have my statue
Yes.
of him in
Yes,
a
you do.
graveyard.
Yes.
But to me, right when I was getting really back into comics and started like discovering independent comics, and Evil Ernie was a zombie comic, but with supernatural elements.
What's
where
about a
literally
dude come back to try to take over the?
well,
oh my
but
God,
here's the
it's
thing:
so
is
good.
that what was great about it
so
is
stupid.
whoever he killed, he had psychic ability that then they were part of his army, and they all had his psychotic smile. So you got dead zombies murdering people, just smiling while they're fucking doing
and
it.
Can we talk about how they took the basically like the Nirvana smiley face and just gave it a psychotic smile?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
That's
smiley.
That's basically that's basically what it was. Smiley. If you look at it,
But
it's just that like
that was really kind of for the time. There wasn't anything like that.
Lady
so-
Death. That was
And
the
that
Chaos Comics
introduced
did
the
a
whole-
whole
yeah.
thing
Yeah.
with that.
Brian Polito,
Yeah.
Fucking.
who's a really nice guy, by the way.
Oh, he's awesome.
He's a great guy. Yeah, I've talked to him several times.
And
He's
they
a
used
great
it.
guy.
They had little
good to know.
tricks.
Yeah.
They had little tricks they would do. I remember buying a number one issue of Evil Ernie. I can't remember what series it was, but literally came with a autographed barf bag in the back of it. Like that. That's them going. Let's have some fun. All right.
Yeah, yeah. That's so fucking awesome. I mean, yeah. I'm trying to think. What else was part of that universe? Was it just? those two?
Well, now you had Purgatory.
Purgatory, Chastity.
Yep. There's well, Cremator I think got his own spinoff, but that was a Lady Death character. You've got
A lot of them, Lady Death and Evil Ernie were kind of the two big ones. You had your other characters, but those were kind of the
Those were the
centerpieces of that.
flagships.
Yeah, of that universe. So
And that's the ones I think I still have
yeah.
issues of on my bookshelf, but I don't think I have any of the other ones anymore. I don't really know.
But
if
at the
I've
time,
ventured off
he
into the
released his
spin-offs.
books, it was kind of risky because again, horror comics just wasn't really a big thing. You had some Dark Horse adaptations that were
but
safety.
you put impossible proportions on a female who's not wearing hardly anything.
That-
She's a
yes.
badass
well-
bitch. Like she fucking
Right, but
like,
I mean, we're selling books, fellas. You
Yeah,
know,
titties.
yeah, it really doesn't matter what we're doing on the inside.
Oh, there is a
For
period.
sure.
There
why
was a
not?
period in the '90s where I feel like some
Manual on how to brush your teeth.
some publishers were like people come like, I got this great concept of like make your character have tits out and you can get this run, because there was a period of time where goddamn every fucking comic
big titties.
big titties.
Big titties.
Wait,
that's
has
all
that
it was.
era stopped?
It hasn't. Not that I've seen.
You remember this period of the '90s where Gen 13. I know there were
yes.
other characters besides Fairchild, but you wouldn't know
J. Scott
because
Campbell, man.
she's right in the front, tits out, and you would see the character kind of looking past one of her tits. Let's say hi. I'm also on the cover.
Which it would have been so much more realistic if the character was staring at the tits, because who wouldn't stare at big tits?
Yeah.
True.
Who, I mean, I'm just saying.
No,
Like,
no, absolutely.
Now,
But
that
this
is
is-
all a precursor towards, I got to say, arguably the biggest as far as for independent artists to come out and create solid horror comics. I mean, we all agree Image now is like
Yeah,
Image took the most
Walking
risk.
Dead.
Image I
Walking
think
Dead
took
well,
was
the,
Nailbiter. They had Eater. Eater
Spawn.
Spawn. Yeah,
Spawn's a
Spawn.
horror comic.
Yes,
Spawn
it is.
It's,
No,
it's,
no.
it's
How the fuck
not
did
a.
I skip Spawn?
I mean,
it's
we
Image.
all
It's
did.
fucking Spawn.
That was
Jesus
that's
Christ.
OG.
Yeah,
Image.
and that was still the '90s
Oh yeah,
when that came out.
absolutely.
And
that's
like,
him literally making a deal with the fucking
It's
devil.
Faust.
Yes,
it's
Faust. Yes,
Yep.
which they tried to do later, and it wasn't as good as Spawn.
Oh God.
You remember? You remember
Oh
that?
yeah, I remember that. He had like the 2 Wolverine
That was
claws
terrible.
and the half-ass
Ah,
Batman
it was
things.
fucking
Like,
terrible.
God.
who are we ripping off here? Buddy?
Yeah, I know. Shit, it was terrible.
But
Stay in your lane, bro.
I would say Image probably took the most risk where they
Yeah.
said, again, and it's just the Image mentality of bring your stuff in, and if we like it, we'll give you a chance. And you had this writer come in, and he's like, hey, I want to do a zombie book. And zombie books, they weren't a thing. Nobody did fucking zombie books.
Yeah.
They're like, all right. And Kirkman brings Walking Dead in, and it's like, I want to introduce this zombie book. I want it to be in black and white.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, okay, so something that nobody really cares about, and not in color, and
so it doesn't
just
look like blood.
The
or body
strength
guts, you know,
of the
it's fine.
storytelling was,
Well,
and the art just helped kind of just keep pushing through. And I always tell people if they haven't read the Walking Dead series, that what people loved about Game of Thrones is what Walking Dead did prior to watching that show is, oh, you like this character, you really are comfortable, they're fucking dead.
Yeah, no
oh,
shit.
here's another thing, you really like them, and Kirkman made it so you didn't fucking trust him. He would kill off anybody,
Yep.
including
Yep.
fucking babies.
Yes.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
it was a rough read. But talking about them putting their trust in him, they put a little bit of trust in him because there's a reason that their first handful of comics are very expensive, is because
they're
they
hard to
barely
find.
made it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They gave him a
6,000 run or something for the
I
first
can't
issue.
remember
some
the
shit
numbers.
Like that.
It's
Crazy.
as far as the average comic book order, it was in the basement.
Let's
Yeah,
not,
it was
Yeah.
a.
let's move
it's a-
past.
Oh yeah,
the-
he's got a yeah.
Yes,
the whole thing
I
with it.
know exactly why you're making that
but,
face.
But I mean, you could even go into some other things that came out of that time period. I mean, I would honestly put Garth Ennis' Cross. That run is in horror. That
Oh,
was
yeah, because
very fucking horrific.
It's post-apocalyptic.
Yes.
but the shit that happens to
Exactly,
characters,
dude,
is
like-
pretty hills have eyes.
When I'm reading it and I start feeling a level of anxiety, okay, I'm going to call that horror because not a lot of shit makes me feel that way, except something that I would be afraid of. And
then-
that his issue of Cross, yes, fucking, well, his arc is like
Now-
6 issues.
I'm gonna bring up
Like
this comic, and I want to reference the comic, not the movie, but one of my favorite horror like independent releases, 30 Days a Night.
Yes.
Oh,
And
very
the
good.
artwork worked
The original
perfectly.
arc,
The
yes.
ar- yeah, but
The original
the
arc, not the
artwork,
second
the
one.
style that they
it was a
used with
paint-
the
it was
storytelling,
painted.
Yes.
it's painted and it's up in Alaska, like heavy snow, and the way they drew it, where you are reading it and you could barely see the characters except for the
yes.
eyes.
Yep.
And that was perfect. It was the
Yes.
best
and
way.
it was, you got the
it was-
mouth. You would get
yeah.
the eyes and
Yep.
like the
eyes
mouth.
in the mouth.
And it was such a cool idea of just
It was
also
original.
why?
It's
How
like-
did this not dawn on us?
Yeah,
no
exactly.
pun
It's like-
intended, dawn on us.
Yeah,
but
but-
he's here all night,
Dad joke.
folks.
But it is one of those things where you're like,
Try the
holy
veal.
shit, a town that literally experiences a month of nights.
Yep.
Why wouldn't vampires go there?
Y'all are immortal. How has nobody thought of this one yet?
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
It's like, there's a buffet just up
waiting,
the road
just
here.
a-
And
waiting.
again, the movie is not utter shit, but it
It
pales.
was fun.
It was
But it
fun.
pales in
Yeah,
comparison
I don't
to the
hate
comic.
It does.
I'll say that.
Oh, I don't hate
sure,
it. I don't hate
sure.
it. There are comic movies that I literally hate.
It's hard though when there's a property, a comic that you love, and then it's just not done right. And to me,
What would you like to see done differently? Question. There you go. What would you like to have seen them do differently?
I think they just the attacks, the mysteriousness of it. It's just not all there. It's kind of
focus
like
on the viciousness.
they show up, they show the vampires, and it's kill, kill, kill. And I
they
like
focus-
the
but they're very
the
feral
distrust.
creatures in the comic. But there is like the
I
mysterious
like the
suspense
distrust
too.
of the main characters hiding out, trying to survive, and kind of selling each other out. Because at
like,
some point,
that's almost like the mist and like the stand. Like there's so many. That's a common thing
Well,
where like,
you
oh,
get-
we're neighbors until.
well, you get to the point where the characters realize, like, as the days go on, and you know, they're gonna still be searching out food, and they're going to get more desperate and start investigating more inside these houses, stuff like that. So you gotta have to start sacrificing for the good,
the greater good.
Yeah,
the greater good.
pretty much.
Well, like Kirkman has said several times, that Walking Dead by title, that's not the zombies, it's the people.
Yeah.
And
Well,
the people are the scariest part of that entire story. You know, it's like, I mean, especially as they're further on, okay, we all adapt. You got zombies in your yard. Well, it's like squirrels now, I mean, this has been however many years. We're used to that. It's the people down the road that are the ones that are scary. You can't trust anybody. You don't know who's trying to get over on you or kill you.
And and Kirkman was very blunt about that in his writing, because like there's a still where Rick says, "We are the Walking Dead."
Mm-hmm.
Like he literally says that because in reference to what you just said, like Rick is complete awareness of like how fucked up humanity is. That's why he has his 3 questions. That's why all that shit happens. Like, I can't fucking trust you.
Yep. And the fact that they all are, going to turn into a zombie anyway. It's just a matter of shelf life.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the thing, is that's the strength with Walking Dead, is that like the zombies are so secondary in that book. It's
Absolutely.
about the corruption. It's about people
the
like
zombies
the
like a nuisance. They're like, get fuck. Okay,
It's about people like the governor. It's about people like
Negan.
Yeah.
The actual comic story arc with Tyrese in the gymnasium, and as to what's going on with that. The suicide pact between his daughter and that creepy kid who didn't follow up on his end. The comic's way more gruesome than the show.
It's way more gruesome. Again, so we reference Hellblazer, we reference Walking Dead. Now, if all you've done is watch the AMC show, as good as it is, I'm not going to take it, that show is fucking good, you need to read the comic.
Yep.
They sell them in compendiums now, so you can get like...
There's different elements.
There's 6 compendiums now. It's over
there's
too.
There's different elements the comic introduced, and I can say the term using a spoon. And if you've read the comic, you understand what that means when it comes to Michonne and how she handles a certain character.
Yeah, but that was that also came out in the book too. Woodbury. Yeah.
Oh
Where
yeah.
that also came out in the book too.
I mean, because you can watch the show and then read the comic, or read the comic and then watch the show, and they've changed up. There's a lot of things that remain the same in both, and a lot of things they added a lot. They combined characters. I mean, Shane in the comic is very different from Shane
dead in the
show.
first issue, isn't he?
Not the first issue, but pretty early on.
It's like I feel like it's the first
with that, and there's little switcheroos, like when the governor is outside the prison, and
Daryl's not in the comics at all,
or Merle.
But when the governor's outside the prison in the show, there's Dale.
Yep,
and that sucked when you saw Dale lose his head. But man, in the comic, it's Tyrese.
Yep.
Yes.
And it wasn't Dale. It wasn't Dale. It was
Herschel.
Herschel. Yeah. Herschel. That's right.
Remember Dale got eaten by the kid that
it's Herschel,
the zombie that
and that was in the show that was impactful. But man, read the comic.
Oh, it was heartbreaking.
And when it was Tyrese, you were like, "Fuck."
And for me, I was lucky enough, like around the time when season 1 dropped of Walking Dead, is around the time Hunter and I started hanging out, and we had talked about it. So I went back and bought. Because at that point they just had them in the graphic novel collections, and I was able to like get ahead of where the show was and like keep reading after that. So I kind of knew if they were going to keep up with that, where they were going to go. So I only had a certain amount of things ruined for me.
But there's other characters
as the show went on. You know what I mean? Like because there's some stuff they didn't do from the comic.
Yep.
They just didn't do it.
I mean, there's a
Carol died.
Exactly.
Carol died very quick.
Carol
She got the first winter.
And I'm like, I had finished. It was like the first season of Walking Dead was only 6 episodes, and so I'd already seen that. And then when I went and started reading the show, I'm like, "Fuck, he's dead."
Not only with Carol, but the character's completely different in the show.
Yeah,
because the Carol in the book, like literally gives herself up, just says, "Fucking bite me, life sucks, and I'm weak."
Yeah.
And in the fucking show, she's fucking capping little girls in the head.
She went from battered wife to Scarol. The nastiest one out
she's
there.
badass as a motherfucker in the show.
Just look at the flowers.
But I appreciate that too. Like,
so fucking badass.
But I do. I appreciate her character so much in the show.
Oh, she's fantastic.
Yeah.
She's fantastic.
And see, this is the power of the Walking Dead book, is that literally we are bringing up, covering everything. But you start mentioning Walking Dead, and the book readers, it's hard just to breeze by that because there's so much there.
It is. Yeah, there's so much there, and I'm glad they kind of incorporated the time jump with the not this past season, but the season before, like the last season, but the season before that.
Yeah. I can't add to it. I haven't
far
finished.
behind.
I'm way behind on Walking Dead.
Oh, okay. Well, I won't.
But I've read all the comics.
Yeah. Well, there's a time jump in the comics.
Oh, yeah.
They do match that later on in the show. So, but anyway, Walking Dead's a huge one. We talked about Spawn. Spawn had a really shitty movie. Neil Gaiman is working on a more
Todd
current.
McFarlane.
Oh Jesus Christ! Yeah, Todd McFarlane is working on a
Man,
current.
Neil Gaiman would not like to hear you mix his name.
Oh, no,
up.
no, those two
They
hate each other.
fucking hate each other.
Why?
Are you? Oh, okay, here we go.
You
I have no
you
idea.
want to take this
Yeah,
one?
I'll
I have
take
no
this
idea.
one.
Do it.
Okay,
I have no idea why they hate
Issue
each other.
number 9 of Spawn introduces a character called Angela. So you have Spawn, so that's Malbosia's army, you know, and then you've got the opposite. So you've got warrior, angel, Valkyrie chicks. And so anyway, so Angela was co-created by Todd McFarlane and Neil Gaiman.
Gaiman wrote it, right?
So they used to like each other, apparently.
I think, well, two massive egos, they used to tolerate each other on a creative level. I have no idea, but they do not now. And then, long story short, there was a massive falling out, and then years of litigation over who owned Angela. And God, it wasn't too terribly long ago that got settled.
It's settled, and Gaiman's got rights back.
Well, it's settled. Yeah, Gaiman
Because
got the rights
Angela
to it.
was technically trademark of Image. But the rule with Image is that each
You
creator
create it, you own it.
has their copyright covered by Image. It's not
that was
Image
their founding
company.
mission statement.
And so, so that's kind of the ironic thing is that you had a character in Image that there were rights being fought over. But yeah, I think in the
Todd
end,
McFarlane was arguably the biggest voice against Marvel and DC, and that's when the big shift in the creation of Image. So once Gaiman won the rights to Angela in court, he immediately turned around and sold her to Marvel.
yep.
And just to give Todd McFarlane the finger.
Which-
she is now blood related to Thor of Asgard.
and I was about to say, there is a possibility, rumors, that she might have a slight appearance
In
and
Love-
got
in Love and Thunder.
As Guardians of the Galaxy. Yes.
Holy shit! I had no idea.
Yeah,
Holy
Because
fuck.
she is currently on the roster of the Guardians of the Galaxy
Dude,
in the comics.
That's a huge fuck you.
yeah, it is.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know if Tom McFarlane's going to see that movie.
He doesn't need the money. He's Neil Gaiman, for God's
no,
sake.
it's about
So
like
it's
literally
about
just
giving the
yeah,
finger.
Exactly.
You know?
Well, okay. I am sorry for that. I had Gaiman on the mind from earlier, but no, Tom McFarlane. That movie was shitty, but he is in the works, or was pre-COVID, for a new Spawn film.
Well,
Let's see.
The Man from La Mancha. Yeah, that'll get done shortly, I'm sure.
And you gotta
But we have
be careful with the combo creators and sometimes movies, as I am one of the biggest Frank Miller fans out there. I will never ever watch the movie he directed called The Spirit.
Oh.
Is it a huge piece of shit? So
The Spirit sucked.
the excitement of hearing Todd McFarlane possibly directing a Spawn movie brings back me sitting in the theater watching Samuel L. Jackson look and sound stupid in a Frank Miller directed movie. I don't know if I want to take the risk again.
Does outside of anybody that was alive at that time that actually witnessed that film, does anybody even know of that movie?
Okay,
I know we do.
Here's where I'm going to go comic nerdy. The Spirit has to be remembered because it is a piece of comic book history. It is a very big early thing. If it wasn't for the Spirit, we wouldn't have comics the way we have them today. You know, it's due to the popularity. Having said that, giant asterisk beside this, because it was created by a man named Will Eisner, who was basically a card-carrying Nazi racist fuckhead. That guy. Go back.
Side note, real quick. They like to issue like the best comic book of the year, and it's still called, I believe, the Eisner Award.
Correct.
Which is ironic now when you
Yes.
kind of know his back history.
That's like calling it the Weinstein Award. Hey, I like to rape women. It's cool. Whatever.
Yeah. It's
Pretty much, yeah. It's
I'm just saying. It's okay.
great acting. Here's your Weinstein Award. Like, ugh.
It's one of those channeling my inner Jeff Goldblum, thinking about Frank Miller. Like, yes, you can, but should you? Because go back and when you get some time, look up The Spirit and just pull up some covers or some pages, and immediately you'll see what I'm talking about. Like, his sidekick was a black guy, African American dude, and the way he is drawn and portrayed. He is a cartoon monkey.
Is it like what Breakfast at Tiffany does for Asian people?
Yes.
Yeah.
So when you go back
like
and you
what
look
the
at
original
old
Shang-Chi
40s,
used to be.
Yeah. Not Shang-Chi is one thing, and it was like the
original
Asian
Shang-Chi was bad,
blaxploitation
dude.
in the 70s.
Yeah, dude, that was terrible.
Well, it was like Luke Cage in the 70s was unreadable.
it was
Jive
horrible.
Turkey, I'm going to get you sucker type stuff.
I mean,
it was worse back in the day because back in the day, I mean, folks of color couldn't vote. I mean, folks of color were very much like by law second-class citizens. So I mean,
Yes.
this is so
like,
far
tell me
beyond.
again.
So is it kind of ironic that's
Let me tell you how it was, Steven. There's things you may or may
there's
not
a
know.
little bit of
about
history
our
we need to
country's
explain to you,
history.
Steven.
No, I was
As a white man.
no, but I love no, fuck that. I love the passion behind that. I just had to fuck with you because it's what I do.
Oh, yeah,
but I love the passion.
absolutely.
I love the passion behind that because, like, yes, exactly. Like, ugh.
No, and again,
Disgusting.
visually, yeah, the Spirit looked like Sin City, which Sin City was amazingly
It was
good.
so good.
And
that's the thing is,
then you should have
Miller got
stopped.
to Sin City, directed by Robert Rodriguez, an actual director who had Phil Miller on as a
Who directed
co-director.
300.
That was Zack Snyder.
Zack Snyder. That's right.
Yeah.
Zack
Yes.
Snyder. Again,
Also
another
based on
Frank
Frank
Miller.
Miller.
Yeah.
And
That's
it
what I
was,
mean.
it
I
was
was thinking-
amazing.
I was
Miller
thinking
didn't
Frank Miller,
have
yeah,
as
yeah.
much say in 300 as he did
No,
in
he did
Sin
not.
City.
But they did
Literally-
storyboard it like they did. Sin
Literally,
City. It's almost
Rodriguez fought
verbatim.
for
Yeah.
Miller to get DGA credit for Sin City because of how involved Miller was. That DGA that Rodriguez fought for to get Miller is why we got the Spirit, because the Miller said, well, now I'm part of the Directors Association. I can direct a fucking movie. Give me the rights to Spirit. Yeah, they should have never made him a director.
Didn't they both get blackballed because he was given director's credit before?
Yeah,
And
before.
so him and Rodriguez got blackballed from the Academy.
Yep.
Really?
Right. Yeah, Robert Rodriguez, Troublemaker Films. I don't
Yeah.
care. Fuck
Yeah.
you. He also...
And I really can't think of honestly, a quote unquote bad film Robert Rodriguez has actually done. Like an
Once
actual
Upon a
movie.
Time, Mexico is a little rough. at
I will
times.
watch that because it is a beautiful. That motherfucker. That is a beautiful disaster through and through. It is a tire fire of a film that I enjoy
it's
to
a
watch.
rough- there's
it's a
times
rough one.
it's a rough one,
He's like,
right?
are you a Mexican or a Mexican? Come on, bro. Like,
Yeah, I felt like that franchise kind of, Shyamalan. It started.
so your favorite one is
great
El
and
Mariachi, and then after that, fuck it.
Mariachi was fantastic, and what was
Oh,
the second?
Desperado.
Desperado's so good.
No, okay, so it's one.
Desperado's
There's
so good.
one in the three.
You would know.
And so he failed at the landing. He failed. You crashed the plane.
crashed
The takeoff
did
and the
not
flight
stick
were
the
good.
landing.
But guess what?
Stick the
You crashed the fucking plane.
Yeah,
all right?
yeah.
Kind of the essential thing you didn't fucking do.
Well, the takeoff's pretty essential too. Now
That's
Mariachi
true.
was a badass film. And he did Planet Terror, motherfucker. So
That is happening. All right. Speaking of horror comics,
See, yeah, anyway. But no, we
I do-
did defer. But no, I was bringing up if people haven't, if all they know is the movie and they know the news of Todd McFarlane and the new Spawn, go back and read the original run of Spawn. I mean,
First 25.
they've had tons of different story arcs since then, obviously, because
Yeah.
they're still writing Spawn comics. But the original Spawn comic, and then also go back, and if you have HBO Max, go out and watch the original
the
animated
series.
fucking
That was
series.
excellent.
Holy shit.
That was
voiced by who?
Keith fucking David, god damn it. And
Yeah.
when did I get
Get in the
signed by
van,
him?
pizza boy.
I have a Spawn picture signed by Keith fucking David because he is the voice of my generation.
It's fantastic.
Dude.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
that Spawn
how many
animated
people watched that
series.
series thought I was a white man? I want to know how many people watched that series and thought Spawn was a white man, even though in the comic he's black. We're like, oh, we're going to take a black character and voice him by a white man.
That's where McFarlane
what white
lucked out.
man has Keith David's voice?
Yeah.
man?
True.
I mean,
True.
But see, this is where
Sam
McFarlane,
Elliott maybe, but I mean,
this is
No,
where
very good
McFarlane lucked
point,
out
very good
though,
point.
because that animated series you can look at and it's so well done and so strong
So good.
and so better to just ignore the fucking movie that came out
Yes.
right after that. That's fucking terrible. I watch most comic book movies. There's a list of about 5 or 6 comic movies I kind of picked up ahead of time. Warning, danger, Will Robinson. That is one of them.
Yes.
That is on the list that goes with Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 2, Fantastic Four Stick, or whatever the second attempt at rebooting it.
Stick.
But that Spawn, just the trailer,
That movie's terrible.
and just looking at it,
What sucks?
warned me enough that I said, I love comics. I even love the Spawn comics. I'm not watching this shit.
What sucks? This is also Michael John White, dude. Like,
I know.
it's like, come on, man. God damn
But
it.
that's early not. That's
yeah,
not
that's-
the motherfucker
that's-
that's on Netflix now beating the shit.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen any of his recent movies,
No, I'm saying, like, yeah.
but he's a badass motherfucker now.
He is, yes.
but he was also the straight to Cinemax guy. Like, I mean, this is your lead.
Yeah.
This is your lead.
Well,
he's
his big
been
credit
he's
was he
been
was
in the
Tyson.
Cinemax basement
That's like the
for
fight
years.
scenes are great in the movie, though.
Yeah, well, that's fantastic.
That's
but
what he
Wesley
does.
Snipes can fight his ass off too, man. What's Snipes
that's a
doing
good.
that day?
That kind of leads into the other thing in the late '90s. We're going to talk about some Blade. Blade. Oh,
that was a good movie.
and that was also more horror in comics. We got a fucking vampire, fucking bounty hunter.
And
basically,
that again,
just
they took
fucking
that period where Marvel would test the market out, but again, energy drainer more than actually. And someone was like, "I'll take that property, but I want to make it fucking R." And anybody that read the Blade comic didn't think going into that shit that you were gonna get fucking shower heads of blood and actual hardcore killing. And that was where you took something that was a very basic concept and let a director say, "I want to make this a fucking hard R like movie, and I'm not taking out energy draining. Motherfuckers are getting killed, all right?"
Yes.
Well, also a super excited, very, young teenage version of me is sitting in the theater, and it's like immediately I see, oh my God, that's Tracy Lord.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's fantastic.
That's
Here we
Tracy
go.
Lord.
This is okay, awesome.
In a non-John Waters movie.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
You're in like a
And I'm
legit-
underage, so I'm allowed to be excited about this.
You're in like what was that?
fantastic.
Who had the property? That New Line? Was that New Line?
Yeah, that was New Line.
New Line.
Yeah.
You're in like a New Line property in the theater in the late '90s. Like, can I whack off in here? It's Tracy Lords. I'm used to whacking off when I see Tracy Lords.
Yeah, that wasn't a shared experience, but I was very excited.
Hey, whenever I saw Tracy Lords when I was a kid, usually she was naked. Just saying. And I enjoyed every second of it. Because back then it was a second. So, but no, Blade was a huge leap for horror comics coming into cinema because we had to wash the bad taste out from Spawn.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
No, I mean,
Blade
not
was
just
done
for
so
horror,
well.
but
Now,
just for comics,
CGI
Blade did a lot.
CGI was fucked in that film. Like the whole end where he gets cut in half and pulls back together. That was the '90s. That
we
was
don't
CGI.
worry
That's
about
all we
it.
had to deal.
We don't
that's
worry
what we
about
had
it
to deal
because you
with.
have Blood Rave, and
Yeah.
that
You have Blood Rave.
Blood Rave, yeah, that right there, the beginning sequence
So good,
helped that movie so much.
so good.
Now, and again, I'm going to make fun of it, but I also liked it. Around the same time, give or take, we had The Crow.
Yes. Oh no.
Which The Crow is...
The Crow compared to when Spawn came out, like Crow is. It's here. Like
Yeah.
it's fucking here, dude. That movie.
It was a great... and as far as like considering it horror, I guess it's like...
It's gothic
horror if it's like...
more
listening
gothic,
to
It's gothic
Smiths.
horror. It's gothic
Yes,
horror.
it's-
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, if the Smith
If
wants to
Morrissey
write horror,
did horror,
exactly.
we get The Crow.
We get the Morrissey. We get some. We get some Smiths. We get some Smiths. We get some Cure. We can throw in a little bit of Joy Division. All right, then we got the Crow. Here we go. We're all
Get
sad
in the
and
car,
happy.
loser. We're going crying and killing a couple guys,
But no, like I remember the first time I saw that, I thought it was like Brandon Lee. I'm like, fuck, it's Bruce Lee's son, badass. But then, so I read the comic later, and I'm like, holy shit.
Oh, the comic definitely has much more fucked up elements.
Oh, yes.
Well, James O'Barr, it's like true to life experience about him watching his fucking fiance get hit by a car, dude. That's fucked, man. Right? Like it's fucked.
Well, his
and he'll talk about it
motivation-
openly. Like, no, this is what my motivation was.
Yeah,
His
I met him. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in the comic, before he goes on the big killing spree,
Yeah.
there's a few needles involved. You get a little bumped up there. I mean,
Even the movie they did it though. Was it Mothers is the word for children?
Right, but
Lips-
he's taking
no,
it-
lips-
Mother is the word for
But
children on the
he's-
lips of all children.
Yeah.
taking it out
No,
of
mother
her.
is the word for God on the lips and hearts of all children.
Correct.
Yeah.
And he's like squeezing the heroin out of her veins. I'm like, that is the closest to the
But
grit
in the-
that's in the comic that we get in the film.
But no,
honestly,
no.
like,
But that's what I'm saying is in the movie, it's coming. He's squeezing out of her. In the comic,
it's going into her.
well, no, it's going into him.
Him, yeah,
because he's getting so fucking juiced up to murder the fuck out of him.
people, yeah.
And James Barr's like, you see those needles? He's really getting juiced up. Like,
No, but-
Yep.
so
But that
and
is-
I feel like you couldn't really get away with that in the movie.
You
I
gotta
don't
call
know.
that in horror because it's resurrection, dude.
He died,
It's
he was
fucking
brought back, so,
resurrection.
yeah, I guess
Well,
it fits.
and in the
Yeah.
comic, there is a whole character that they had actually filmed and had to take out of the movie, where it's almost like his guardian, like it's like the graveyard, like it's like a Grim Reaper skeleton dude with the big hat. That what's his name from Hills Have Eyes? Who's the main mutant in Hills? The
Oh,
OG?
the guy's a main
Barry,
mutant and everything.
Yeah.
something Barry,
That's an
right?
unfortunate
He, fil-
looking
he
fella.
filmed, but he
He's a
filmed,
nice dude,
and
though.
he-
He's gotta be.
it's
He's
a
a
skull
sweetheart.
face
He
with
is.
the top hat,
Yeah.
kind of like if you were to take Undertaker from whatever, but as a skull being that is kind of his mentor when he first gets resurrected, and he filmed probably like at least 10 scenes, but because they had to recut it after him dying, they took all of his scenes out. But there's film of that. But in the comic, yeah, this one character, and I can't think of his name, is kind of the mentor, and it's just this, like, again, Undertaker with this skull face that's just directing him of how to get revenge.
In the movie, they use the Crow.
Yeah, well, no, that's what I'm saying. Is they took his character out. He
Yeah,
was in the Crow.
Yeah.
They just used the squawking.
No,
as
I
like,
mean they use the
oh, good idea,
That's
squawking
what,
crow.
That's what I mean. In the movie, they actually
do that,
use the
bird.
bird. They use the bird.
I understand crow talk.
And
like,
then like the Cure does a song and the soundtrack, and so does Nine Inch Nails, and that guides him across rooftops. I don't know.
thank you, squawking.
soundtrack,
And
The soundtrack, dude,
Soundtrack's
Rage Against the
amazing.
Machine, fucking
Yeah,
that was the debut for STP's Big Empty. Like that was, if you're a kid of the '90s, that soundtrack. If you don't know, you need to go. And
you literally
dude,
have
oh my
a
God.
comic book song in that soundtrack.
Ghost
Henry
Rider.
Rollins.
Yep.
Henry
Yeah.
Rollins,
Henry
Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider.
'Cause we didn't even touch that. I mean, we brought it up, but Ghost Rider was another huge thing, man.
A great
Like,
comic, just nah.
Someday maybe we'll get a
Cage
good one.
makes two kinds of movies.
Can we not? Yeah, can we not talk about the movies? I want, and I haven't said, you know what? Fuck trying to do another Ghost Rider movie. Can we please just get we got Moon Knight, which is violent. Can we get a Ghost Rider series on Disney Plus, please? Can we get a Ghost
See,
Rider
here's the thing.
series?
The first Ghost Rider movie.
And it could be with was it Reyes? It doesn't have to be fucking
Robbie Reyes.
Robbie
Yeah.
Reyes. It could be Reyes. I don't
See,
need it to be
here's the-
fucking Johnny Blaze. It could be
that
Reyes.
first Ghost Rider movie, right, went on my list I was just telling you about of no, I see enough, I know.
So bad.
The problem is I got fooled by the second one.
Yeah.
Because the guys that directed the second one were the
Yeah.
guys that are responsible for Crank and Crank 2.
and it's
if you've
shot that
watched-
way. It's shot.
if
like
you've
Crank
watched
and
those
Crank too.
movies,
Crank.
Yeah.
there's
movie's
excitement there because you go, oh
Like,
shit,
this movie's
these guys that just don't give two fucks and will just put whatever on screen are in charge of a
Dude,
Ghost Rider
he gets
property.
hot in the sequel,
But it's just terrible.
It's even worse when he
Yeah.
like starts to turn into Ghost Rider in the sequel.
And
It's
you
even
get-
worse than the first one. Dude.
and you get-
he's just like screaming. Like, you know, stop.
Is the
Please
first one or
stop.
second one has Floaty Bag dude from American Beauty as the bad guy? Is that the first one or second one? You know, the floaty bad guy from American Beauty.
Oh, it's the first. That's the first one.
Okay.
Because they get Sam Elliott, who's the original Ghost Rider, and they're riding out west, and then they meet the floaty bad guy from
American
he
Beauty.
takes the
Yeah.
pictures from American Beauty, and it's fuck that movie.
Everything's
God,
beautiful.
fuck that movie so bad. It's so bad. Oh
Man, we
Not-
have. I think it's our first off the rails we have gone on Mouse
But
this far, man.
it's related because Ghost Rider is definitely horror. Again, it involves
Oh, yes.
resurrection, selling your soul.
Selling
like
your
that's
soul to
fucking
Mephisto.
horror, dude.
Yep.
And that movie was trash. And it also had Donald Logue as his fucking friend, who is another actor I love. Like everybody in
Great
that movie,
Blade.
everybody in that movie I enjoy as an actor who went to a shit fucking film.
Ooh, Sam Elliott, man. We're just going full circle.
That's what I'm saying. That's the Sam Elliott.
White
yeah.
Sam Keith was in that.
Yes.
Keith David. Sam
Keith
Keith. That's
yeah.
good.
Sam Elliott's White Keith
Yeah.
you
David.
can't
yeah,
help
yeah.
but mention
I know what you
comic
meant.
creators.
I, can't, I just
I know what
can't.
you-
It just comes out.
But
Speaking of Sam Keith,
I mean, there's
You get on.
God.
Well, I mean, it's an animated series, but I mean, the Max had
I don't
horror
think,
elements.
No,
You don't think so?
That's
No.
going to be a big reach. I mean, we're
Yeah.
talking about a guy who may or may not have been a giant rabbit in a prehistoric Australian
Right.
outback. But
Yeah, I don't-
most like it was just a bum.
Yeah.
I believe, but the comic, I would say more than the series, though, leaned into where.
I never read the
It,
comics,
it was basically fighting a rapist, and you also kind of get stuck in prehistoric outback Australia. I don't know. I liked it. It was weird, but I don't know if we can
Put it
that
in
one
the dark
hard-
tones,
No,
yeah.
I don't- I think
All
that's
right.
a bit of a reach.
One that I want to throw out because I love people's reaction when I suggest people read this. Afterlife with Archie.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good.
Holy
It's
shit!
good.
Look,
Yeah,
I don't read
I
Archie
haven't read it,
comics,
but he just bringing it
No,
up.
and I
but
remember
this
someone
stuff's good.
suggesting,
Yeah.
and I picked up the trade.
Yeah, it's
That's
so
some
good.
fucking hardcore shit,
Yes.
and I mean, it's fucking people. I mean, shit that you would.
Jughead's a werewolf.
Yeah, but you would not expect in an Archie book. I mean, he has to kill his
Yep.
fucking one of his best friends. I guess I'll
Yep.
be safe to say. So
It's messed up.
Yeah.
I mean, the newer Archie stuff, the Afterlife stuff, so some of the Sabrina Teenage Witch, it's actually very, very
Well,
good.
I know the show is based off the newer rendition of Sabrina.
Correct.
And that's pretty
Yeah.
fucking
That
dark.
was some
Yeah.
dark stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
But
wasn't
they-
expecting. I
they
enjoyed
test
Sabrina.
they
I did.
tested
I
the
did too.
waters.
We watched
It's
it
like
as a family. We're like, new
WB
Sabrina. Like, yeah.
and the Devil.
But they test the waters with these comics. I feel like is that they went, you know what? We've done this Archie shit for fucking 50 years. Let's throw a little caution to the wind and let's put them in the elements. And like again, that first trade is so fucking good. And there's the Jughead werewolf one,
Yep.
and like again, you're like, this is better
It's
than
so
it
out of
ever
left
should
field.
be. Yeah.
It
Now,
is.
question:
It's
did they
better than it should
reference
be.
any of that on Riverdale?
I never watched Riverdale.
No,
I know they
I don't
reference
think so,
Riverdale
no.
and
Riverdale's-
Sabrina. I know
Well,
they talk that Riverdale's like
Riverdale
the neighboring
is strictly
town or
based
whatever.
off of Archie.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah, yeah. Okay,
Yeah, dude, I knew that.
Sorry.
What's a comic book?
I don't know. What's a comic book? Now, I will
Pictures.
say, tying it back into, like I said, the reason we're doing this episode with Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness dropping earlier, like 3 weeks ago. By the time this is dropped, we got to bring up Marvel Zombies. We got to fucking bring up Marvel Zombies, man, because we get a strange zombie in the film. Spoilers, sorry, but
this is where Marvel made the right choice.
And What If? Fucking the animated series What If, when we actually get a whole episode of Marvel Zombies, and there's a Marvel Zombies series slated to drop this year or early next year.
That's
God damn it.
Woo! But this is where Marvel made the right choice, because they're like, all right, we want to experiment with this. Who's writing zombie shit? Just go right to the source. They go to
fucking Raimi.
Well, no, they go to. I'm saying for the comic, they go to Kirkman.
Yeah.
And they say, "Hey, Kirkman, you want to have some fun?" And Kirkman's like, "I don't know." He didn't want to be labeled the zombie guy, but he's like, "I guess I could do it, but not in your basic zombie sense." So he literally goes, "Hey, bring in a character, alien infection, and of course, it starts quickly like a zombie outbreak affecting all the superheroes." And if you don't have powers, you're fucked, because like someone like the Hulk is just going to grab 5 or 6 people at a time, chomp, chomp, chomp. But he also took just what you can have, just a throwaway concept, and he humanized it. Because guess what? Once the Hulk eats, he calms down. And then he's Bruce Banner again. But he's got human body parts in the body the size of the Hulk that when it comes down to a normal human, those legs, they come out of his body and body parts, and now he's having to deal with that.
It seems silly, but when I'm growing up and I'm reading Spider-Man comics and Avengers comics and Fantastic Four or X-Men, whatever, I'm attached to these characters. I mean, these characters have been part of my entire life. So when I'm reading the part of the story where Peter Parker, zombie Peter Parker, who's got missing, I think, a half a leg, isn't able to walk, and is out of web fluid, and is begging for one of the other zombies to carry him. He's also half upset because he ate Aunt May.
Oh, that's a great thing. It's whenever they feed, it humanizes them a little bit.
And so they're a little bit weepy, but they also kind of all turn into fucking dicks to each other, too, because it's the food search. And so where Spider-Man's like, somebody please carry me. And they're like, fuck you, dude. We don't
great,
care. You know, we got to go
hunger,
eat. You're just going to be another mouth to feed.
The motivation to feed, that hunger, just takes everything else away. But once they eat, they kind of come back to reality for it. And it's great because, like Trey was just saying, and they all know every single time Peter Parker feeds, he goes back to the realization. And so, like, here he goes again. Oh, my God, Aunt May. I killed Aunt May, Mary Jane. He's like, damn it. Like, and, like, all the other people, all the other heroes around him are like, fucking here we go. Like, he just fed, so he's going to be a little bitch for about 30 minutes. It's so fucking good. Yeah. Like, and that's the thing. Kirkman took a concept. Again, you could just bullshit that and said, let's have some fun with this. To the point, they literally become Galactus.
Yep.
They push the series to the point where Galactus comes up to us, all right, I'm going to eat this planet. They go, no, motherfucker, we're going to eat you. And then they take the concept of Galactus, which is I'm just feeding on the planet, and go, well, we're going to feed all the inhabitants of these planets. And, you know, we'll just leave a dead planet. We don't fucking care. Like, so the concept of Galactus, but in a fucking fucked up, even more twisted way.
I wonder if they go that way with the series.
God, I wish.
That'd be so good.
Keep making Marvel Zombies, please.
Please. No, so that's the biggest tie-in. And, I mean, there's tons. There is actually tons more we could talk about as far as horror and comics, because
I do want to say one thing is that now Marvel has gotten Aliens license.
Predator too.
Yeah.
Predator.
And
dude.
Some of the books they've done so far have been pretty fucking good. And that, you know, Dark Horse had Aliens for a while, and at first they did great. But some of the later series with Aliens, they were almost just kind of bullshitting it. And Marvel, I don't know if it's because the overlords Disney are like, you know, make this shit fucking work, but the first Alien book that's come out through the Marvel imprint, pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got a couple copies. I've yet to read it. I'm excited for the variant covers, which I hate chasing variant covers because it's
You mean
so
the
expensive.
Xenomorph ones?
No, the Predator ones.
Oh, yeah.
It's gonna
Like
be
they did with the
Predator
Xenomorph?
hunting Marvel heroes, like
Well,
major
they did
Marvel
that. They did that with the Xenomorph ones.
Yeah.
And so I've literally got Venom and a Xenomorph head to head. Like it's
That's
and
so
it's
awesome.
I got the
pretty fucking
Scotty Young Aliens cover where it's the kid. Scotty Young does all like the little kid doodle ones, but it's a little kid, wearing the kind of mining space outfit. So he's got the big helmet, it's clunky, and it's got the big visor, and he's got a cute little xenomorph sitting on his head, just like looking down, and he's just like looking up. Oh yeah.
It's like, I see you, buddy.
Yeah, it's cute. He's about to get his face at, but it's cute.
It's cute for that little snapshot.
One
in time.
second. Yeah.
I choose you.
Yep.
I choose you. So, but no, there's tons in the realm of in the comic world as far as horror goes, which ultimately, if you haven't heard through our diatribes, ties into all the other nerddoms. Like, I mean, this isn't just like we're keeping it comics. Horror comics transferring into the horror realm that Madness usually talks about. It transfers into shows. It transfers into horror cinema. It's across the board, man. Like this is a gateway.
That's why there was so
things.
much excitement for this new Doctor Strange.
Yes.
Is that literally it's a Reese Cup for me of my horror got into my Marvel and my Marvel got into my horror.
Chocolate and peanut butter, baby.
Just
Chocolate
mixed
and peanut
right in
butter.
there, and like,
they do it so well.
Yeah.
they do that so well because like I'm going to see it a second time in a few days, and I'm actually going to try to focus on the story because I'm not gonna lie, the first time I watched it I was just so focused on
that second watching
everything
for me
that was
is
horror.
usually with Marvel movies especially.
Yeah.
That's kind of the where am I going to rank this? Like that
Yeah.
first time, there's me looking.
Dude,
like, I know
but
Trey's the
first-
same way, looking for the cameos, the
Yeah.
connections, the characters
and with
we've
this
read
one
for
the
years
first
and years.
time was just so much Raimi.
It's that
it was
second-
so much
it's that
Raimi.
second
The
time.
raimiest thing Raimi's ever done.
No
Yeah.
shit.
That
Like
is-
I mean, it's. I mean, there's Evil Dead. There's Drag Me to Hell. Like it's all over this fucking film, dude. The way he chooses to do a shot, like the way, it's just everywhere. And I've got to separate that somewhat to like watch it the next time because nerd me is like, like I ate all that shit up like candy. I ate it all up like candy.
I'm the dissenting voice, man. I liked it. It's a fun movie.
No. I loved it.
I didn't love it. I liked it.
I loved
liked
it for the
a lot.
Raimi stuff.
I
so
didn't,
I need
and
to.
I think that I like Raimi a lot, but you know me, Marvel is.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a geek. It was. I don't really know how to say it, and I don't want to say it wrong. It was. I was disappointed about a few things.
Okay.
I think it is a very fun movie. I'm looking forward to watching it again.
Mhm.
I did not dislike it, but I'm not as over the moon as I thought I would be.
Okay. And I feel like that's why I'm really interested to watch it the second time because I already have my brain. I'm separating because I've already seen it.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that was Raimi, like Easter egg for Raimi fans about
That's
it, so
why I
I
think
can
that second
watch
time,
it. You
yeah.
know, and that's what I need. I need that. I need now to go in with a clean slate because I've already seen. I know what he's done. I know what he's got in there for the horror nerds.
Also,
you
I
know?
read a thing the other day, and this kind of irked me. You know, Raimi was in an interview, and he was talking about how great it is that with doing a Marvel project, how much of a community it is to as far as the planning, the writing, the everything. And, you know, he's like to the point that some of it's, you know, irritating because you want to do this and you write this really cool thing and you get this really great idea and then you've got Kevin or somebody else being like, you can't do that because of whatever reason. We're going to do that later or we're just not going that route, whatever. But he was talking about how much he enjoyed it and he thought that came out with a much more polished product that fit with the continuity. And then immediately said he didn't watch all of WandaVision.
Ooh.
Ooh. I know. And that
Well,
irked me.
it's because Nightmare was supposed to be the
Yes, I heard
supposed
that.
to be, and a decision was made to push Wanda into that role. So I can't shit on Raimi that much when he went in going Nightmare is supposed to be the main arch nemesis. Who, again, the character's name is Nightmare. The involvement with the Darkhold is going through people's dreams and fucking hopping around. You can see where they might have just said, let's pull him out and put her in. So I think that there's a little justification with that.
And I don't know, coming from WandaVision and then immediately into Doctor Strange, there was such a shift in Wanda. There's, how much are we talking here? I mean, I don't want to give spoilers.
So hey, spoilers, folks.
We're like 3 weeks after it's been.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, how open can we be with this? Are
we can be open as possible. So, I just said spoilers. So if you don't,
Okay.
doesn't pass this.
I just-
but like there has been also a time shift in the universe between when Strange goes to Wanda. So she's been creating her own little fucking, world.
Right, and honestly, I don't think we've addressed how long between what happened and I can't remember the name of that little town.
Fucking duck.
And then you saw her up in the mountains with the Darkhold. So we don't know how much time in between the two. And I get the whole psycho mother rage as much as I get that. And, if you've got unlimited power, I guess that would feed into it. But you went from a very redemption-seeking Wanda. I screwed up, I mean, look at the damage I did because of my emotional instability and my loss and whatever. To, fuck it. I don't care how many people I got to kill.
So I think up until the end of the film, we're seeing the other aspect of that, instead of redemption seeking, she's vengeance seeking from the same emotional instability.
And I'm factoring in that the Darkhold has had some ill effects on her.
Play on it, yeah.
But at the same time, and this is where the Raimi thing irritated me, I felt like I was just watching Evil Dead 3. It was like, the crazy bad book has got us doing crazy bad things. Yeah. Jump scare.
Yeah.
I will say.
that tunnel shot was pretty sick, though.
I will say this is the first Marvel movie.
I do get what you're saying.
This is the first Marvel movie, though, that I feel like you have to have seen WandaVision.
You had to.
Because there's literally no frame of reference.
Because if you go into it without that, then you go, wait, well, she was at the end of Endgame, and now she's like obsessed with kids.
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
Yeah, what I missed.
Yeah,
the kid.
Like if you think about
Disney warned you, they're like, hey, our shows are going to tie into our movies.
That is true, but not everybody still like.
That's on fucking them,
that's
though,
on
dude.
them.
That's on
by
them,
the way,
man.
Bruce Willis is dead, and Darth Vader is Luke Skywalker's dad.
What?
If you didn't know that. I mean, if you didn't know that Marvel has like 4 jillion things to watch if you want to be current, then sorry. I'm with
Once
Disney
Disney Plus came out, there was like, hey guys, we're telling you what's going to happen. I don't want to hear it.
You've got about 300 plus hours worth of watching before you should buy your ticket.
It's just, I don't know how it worked out with, Black Widow, and then after Black Widow, here comes Hawkeye. So you already have a reference. So this is the first one where the show is prior to the movie, where everything else.
WandaVision was the first one to hit Disney Plus that was current.
That's true. So
I remember
something
watching
in scheduling,
WandaVision.
I think it might have gone a little.
And WandaVision I actually hold special to my heart because of COVID and the pandemic. I remember the first episode that I watched of WandaVision and the Marvel Studios intro came across. I'm like, I haven't seen this motherfucker on a new property in a fucking year.
I do remember
and
that.
God damn it, I almost teared up because I was like, this is a bullshit. This is bullshit. I was so sad.
That was during the height of that show. You're like, something new.
Dude, seriously, though. Like, now when I see it, like, I remember watching this when we were watching Doctor Strange because, I mean, folks, all three of us saw this together. When I was watching it and that came across, and prior to that with Moon Knight, every time I see it, my brain goes back to, like, fuck yeah, like there's a newer appreciation now for it because I was deprived of my goodies. Like we were.
Yep.
We got shit pretty much roughly a year later than we should have.
The schedule on everything was all
fucked up, man.
Yeah.
So WandaVision, and I grew up watching those shows with my grandparents and my mom, like Bewitched and I Dream of Jeannie and all that shit, dude. Like Dick
I had
Van
as
Dyke
much
show,
fun with the Easter egg hunt for the old sitcoms as I did with the Marvel stuff.
Dude,
it was just like, okay, so that's the Brady Bunch's backyard. That's Dick Van Dyke's kitchen. You know, I mean, it's stuff like that because I watched all that crap too.
Exactly.
I
love it. And
me too.
I'm watching the sets, Brady Bunch. Like I'm watching the sets. I mean, even as current as they got with The Office. Like I remember watching obviously The Office as it aired. I remember watching fucking Bryan Cranston.
Breaking
Malcolm
Bad.
in the Middle.
Malcolm in the Middle.
Yep.
That was a big one. Like it literally. I hit reruns with my mom, and then my concurrent, and then me as like a late teen, early adult with The Office. Like it hit all the fucking beats with that show, man. It was so good.
It was so good.
So good. And like, I honestly, the biggest thing that I'm sad about with this is that Paul Bettany is out of pretty much the MCU now.
He's not Uncle Ben. He's got a shot at coming back. If you're not Uncle Ben, you're not permanently dead in the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
He's the only one that is just sadly just not going to be.
But now that the multiverse is open.
Right. So, everybody's saying, well, we saw this person die and this person die and this person die. And I was like, we saw that version of that person die.
We talked about it after the episode. I'm like, they just introduced fucking Fantastic Four. Hey, Mr. Fantastic.
Okay,
Jesus Christ.
all right. Can we go on a nerd thing here? So, okay. Yeah, everybody's excited over Mr. Fantastic. I'm very excited over a kind of a throwaway line from that because right before Reed Richards gets done, it's one of those
Your
like
wife.
I've got kids.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about the kids. Franklin Richards, his son, is arguably the most powerful person in the Marvel universe.
Yep.
He makes pocket universes. He can do anything he wants. And you just killed his dad.
How angry is he?
How angry is that kid going to be?
Yeah.
And I would love for that to get built into something.
That-
I
and
mean,
that may be a-
Marvel
that may
has
be a
taken
great
throwaway
way, yeah.
Yeah,
stuff and
there's
made something
potential-
huge out of
Yeah,
it.
that
That
I
actually
believe there's a second season of What If.
coming out. Yeah. And honestly, like everyone talks about Reed Richards, but my thing, the biggest thing I took from that Illuminati scene was, Professor X. When I get the fucking legit down to the fucking
Chair.
Oh God, that was
The
just
animated theme
like,
song.
that was just fat for me. Man, I was just like,
I know. No.
Jesus Christ.
Yep.
Woo! Like, and that's the thing. They know what they're doing for the age group that is going to get.
Oh
all
God.
that.
Oh yeah.
Like
Yes.
they've known that for like I'd say at least the half.
Yeah, the ones
last half
watching that
decade.
'90s cartoons are the ones that are rewatching the '90s cartoons with their kids now. So
Exactly, and like I mean,
we're the one buying the tickets.
exactly, and they know that. So when we saw that, and he comes out like, "Doo-doo-doo," I'm like,
Oh yes.
oh, so sweet. And I know, folks, this is outside of the horror aspect, but the outside of just the fact Sam Raimi directing it, it is shot like a PG-13 horror film from the 2000s, but with a way better story and characters I give a fuck about.
There's a
That's
couple-
way to
The
describe
most
it.
money Raimi's ever gotten to play with.
No shit.
Let's just say there's a couple cut scenes that if those scenes are in there, it's an R.
Yeah.
Captain Carter.
Yeah.
If you show the result of Black Bolt's mouth being.
Oh God, that was
That could have been a hard R because they suggest it, but you don't see it. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm curious if there's going to be a director's cut, and Raimi's like,
Marvel
we
has
filmed
never
these.
done a director's cut, though.
No, they have not.
Let's see.
Like,
yeah.
The
This is
Gallagher
phase 4.
edition, you
Yeah.
know. Everybody put your raincoats on.
This is
Here's
phase
Black
4.
Bolt's
They've
head.
never done a fucking.
Well, let's
director's
see.
cut.
We'll see.
I mean, I wouldn't be against it. I would love it. I'm just saying they haven't done it before ever.
Yeah.
So, but that's as far as we're going to go into Doctor Strange. If you want to hear a more in-depth episode on Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, go to GUIPodcast.com and check out our flagship episode, GUI Podcast. That full episode was done strictly on that.
That's a really good panelist on it.
Yeah, not including Hunter.
Fuck you.
But
I wasn't there either, so
that's you. So,
Yeah, yeah.
But anyway, definitely check that out. We just wanted to make sure we brought that into the conversation on the horror in comics because, I mean, it's fucking, that shit happened in the comics too. It's not like it's just happened in the movie. Like, Doctor Strange had some evil shit happen. So did Scarlet Witch. There was some evil shit that happened in the comics too. So we definitely just wanted to touch bases on that and also give you a little rundown. If you didn't know about some of this stuff, we hope we enlightened you and you go now and read and or watch or read and not watch because there's a couple that we brought up. You should probably just avoid the movie.
Yeah, just read.
yes.
Just read.
Just read. Just read. So, but we're not done though. You can go to GUIPodcast.com. Again, check out all the other shows on the network. That's where you can get the Doctor Strange episode under the Geeks on the Influence podcast. They did an episode on that. You can also go to our links page, click on that. You go to Amazon.com. You click the link, log in, and shop like normal. Nothing extra for you. Just a little bit of login, click and work. But we get a kickback if you buy something through our link. We appreciate that shit. You can pretty much get every comic we mentioned
Get some trades.
in a trade
Yeah.
version. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. In like a collection of some sort.
Get that first Hellblazer trade.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
buy it.
It's so
just,
fucking
just,
worth it.
Just
Just
pull the
buy it.
At
trigger
this
on
point,
that.
I
Buy
think
it.
DC might be getting to the point where they're going to put more
compendiums, yeah.
than 10 issues in a trade with that.
Yeah.
The doorstop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, again, all the compendiums, which are the doorstops for Walking Dead, you can get those all on Amazon. There's so much fucking literature that we talked about that you can buy through there. Not to mention, you can, if you want a hard copy, you can get the Spawn animated on a hard copy through Amazon as well, if you want to own that shit. So everything we talked about, pretty much, I would say like 90% of it you can buy through Amazon.com. Just do it through our link. We appreciate that. The other link is TeePublic. That's where all the merch is for all the shows on the network. Every show's got multiple designs. Plus, there's just tons of fun, tangential, just bullshit, jokes, inside jokes, one-liners that we decided to make a design out of. If you know GUI, you know, Hobbits like that. And that's just how it does. But definitely they're all fun. You can get them on shirts, pillows, you know, hoodies, onesies, tote bags, and tons of shit. Make sure you check that out. And now that I'm done selling my soul, it is time for
Stump the host.
All right, we are back, and this motherfucker F.U. Hunter one-up me last time. We were tied. We were tied.
That's right.
And you cocksmoker, you one-up me. So, all right.
Let's see. But, well, good luck, good sir.
Good luck,
Yes,
good sir.
yeah.
Yes.
God
No,
damn.
fair game.
I liked it better when we were talking
used to talk
shit.
so much shit, and then we realized it fucked us, so we was like,
Good show, sir.
Yes.
Waiting for pistols at dawn, man. This is amazing. How about you?
So, he won last time. He is up one. But Trey, you get to pick who goes first.
All right. Okay. So
You can pick either one of us to start the first do the first question. Did you have one selected for?
well, let's see. Hunter, let's see. You forgot to give me your address, and
I did.
Steven forgot to give me the heads up
Oh,
that
we're
I
tied
had to
then.
prepare questions. So, you know what? We're going to go. I'm going to give it to Hunter.
God
You get to
damn
go
it.
first.
It's almost a curse sometimes.
Suck
Yep.
it. All right. Okay, hold on. I'm going to go with my least favorite question first because, again, I was doing this.
Oh, we do get to steal it if they don't know it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What horror movie was written by Ray Bradbury and produced by Disney?
Oh my God, I fucking own this movie too. Where the Wicked Ways Come? No. What is Witch in the Woods? Which one is it?
I'm going to go with End of the Woods.
All right, you were on it. You just got the title mixed.
Oh,
Something wicked this way comes.
See, I knew it.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I don't get half a point for that. God
No,
damn
you
it.
get nothing.
Half
You get
the
nothing.
title.
No, that was not what it was called.
Yeah.
Right, so
Son of a bitch.
if I had Googled that, I would not have found it.
I was stoked because I'm pretty sure that's on Disney Plus now.
It is. They have a whole like dark
Oh,
section.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
They have like all that dark shit over there.
Okay. All right. So I guess the next one is to you.
Yep.
Okay. What is the name of the real-life family that was murdered in the house at 112 Ocean Avenue in Amityville, New York?
Oh God. Like,
Not the family that moved in, the family with the murders.
oh, son of a bitch.
Son of a
The
bitch.
family that
is
moved in was the
not.
Lutzes, and the family prior was the God damn it.
That was not on their mailing.
It was the goddamn it.
No, it wasn't the goddamn it.
I'm brain farting. All right.
Here, the goddamn it's next door last night.
Son of a
I
bitch.
Wow.
have no idea, but I'll say the Connors. So
No, I know the fucking name. He's gonna say it. I'm gonna be pissed.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The DeFeos.
God damn it.
Oh, God damn it. It's
All
not
right,
the goddamn
so
it. They live down the
Joey,
street.
Joey DeFeo was the one who did the killing.
yeah, Joey.
Ooh, you motherfucker.
Hey, you fucking dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
Joey
forget
DeFeo.
about it.
Forget about it.
Forget about
Oh,
it.
you
All
son
right,
of
so
a
we're
bitch.
tied
All
0-0.
right.
0-0.
Okay.
You son of a bitch.
Both brain farts.
Dude.
Great.
Oh.
Hunter, how long did it take to film the Blair Witch Project?
Fuck me.
You're looking for like months, years? What are you talking about? You gotta go.
I mean, a unit of time.
8 months.
8 months?
10
You're like
months.
to steal.
10 months.
10 months? You're both way off. It was 8 days.
Holy shit.
No wonder it was so
Filmed
shitty.
that movie in
Wow.
8 days.
No wonder it was so shitty.
Literally
I
dozens
said-
of dollars
I
went
said,
into that.
I said
was
that's what I
terrible.
meant to say was days. I said
No.
8 days, not months.
No, the movie was dog
I
shit.
said Joe Mantegna.
I literally do fucking hate that movie.
Oh,
Anyway,
okay,
all right.
let's see, because I'm jumping around on my list. Okay, so,
It's me.
okay. What was the name of the demon in Children of the Corn?
God damn
He
you.
who walks behind the rose?
Yes!
All right, sweet.
He who walks behind the
Motherfucker.
rose. Nice. Nice.
I'm in a very uncomfortable situation now after missing
Okay.
2 questions.
This is the final 3. This is the final
Yeah.
2. There we go.
Last 2. All right, Hunter. In the 1922 film Nosferatu, the vampire Graf Orlok is played by what actor?
Oh, that's actually a good question. Fuck.
God,
And I knew this one without my wife having to look up the answer because I told you I was transcribing this. And she was,
you know what sucks?
Googling to help me
I
out.
only know his first name, Max.
Mhm.
Oh God, dude.
Oh.
Max.
It's a cool name, too.
Headroom. I don't fucking know.
It was not Max Headroom.
Max
Yes.
on side down? I don't know.
No, Max Schreck.
God damn
Because
it.
I remember, and this is one of those little bits of trivia that's in my head that I don't know why, because I remember seeing the second Tim Burton Batman, and Christopher Walken, his character's
Shrek.
name was Max Schreck, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, this guy played Nosferatu.
Yeah.
And that was like back in the
See, and I
90s.
can remember
and
the
it's like,
Max.
why
I
do
remember
I
the
know
Max
that?
because Willem Dafoe played him in the Shadow of the Vampire movie.
Yeah.
Yep.
God damn it.
Yep. Yep.
I was gonna say I know who played Nosferatu in the remake about Shadow of the Vampire. That was Willem Dafoe.
Okay,
Anyway.
here is my favorite question. It's a two-parter because the first part is, I think, fairly easy.
This is my
So
last
two
line.
points.
This is my last line,
Did I
man.
give you 2 points? Is there 2 points available if it's 2 parts?
I'll do that. Yeah, I mean,
I'm asking you. It's
Do I have
podcast,
2 chances to steal then?
I guess so. Yeah.
All right, let's see. All right.
Okay, so 2 points, 2 chances to steal. What horror franchise has the most nude scenes? And of the however many movies are in that franchise, how many nude scenes? So what movie, franchise, and then how many nude scenes give it the title of most nipples in a horror movie franchise?
I'm gonna go with Friday 13th, and oh man, that's a lot. Oh yeah, there's like 14 of those fuckers. I'm gonna say 23 nude scenes.
If he's correct, then
He's correct on the movie franchise. He
All
is
right.
off
So I already
on
won
the
that.
Yeah, you
nude
already
count.
won
You
that.
can get the
yeah.
number right, and I still won.
Well,
so.
the number. What number did he say?
23.
23. Okay. And it was the question. The second part was
How many nude scenes?
how many nude scenes?
How many naked people get whacked or... Well, not so... Well, I guess... Ah.
42.
You were very close. 39. Oh! You know what? And in retrospect, I wished I'd asked, okay, so Friday the 13th obviously would have the most nude scenes.
Yeah.
All right. What is the second movie franchise? What comes in second with the most nudity?
I'd say Halloween.
I'm gonna go with Nightmare.
Neither one. Hellraiser.
That actually tracks.
That-
That
yeah,
tracks.
that
That
is
tracks.
I was shocked by that, you know?
BDSM. Like,
Yeah,
all that shit.
yeah, I guess so.
They do like to have the
What
hooks
is your
go through
pleasure?
body
Yeah.
parts.
Yeah,
and, like,
you like all that? That makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause I actually thought Hellraiser, but I was like, no, not compared to Friday the 13th, because like I've seen those movies a million times. There's a lot of titties. Lots
I mean,
of titties.
I guess if you get your skin peeled off, does that count as a double nude scene?
pretty much.
I'm
yeah.
so naked,
That's as raw as you
I
can
got
get.
my skin off.
That's as
you know?
raw as you
That's
can
as
get.
raw, yeah.
Damn it, we're
That's
tied
super raw,
again.
dog.
Yeah, we're back to tied. I was gonna say, even if you got the number right, I got the franchise right, so
Yeah.
that was 2-1.
God
so.
damn it.
It's
All right.
pistols at dawn.
Well, no, it's
You might have to do that
Somebody
one day.
smack someone else with a glove.
I-
We need that
please.
with- no, we need those BB guns, just not like from here down with BB guns.
I
Just
bottle rocket.
appreciate that we're tied.
you do.
I'm in every. Come on, it's horror. I want to see violence. Somebody lose an eyeball.
I appreciate that we're tied. Good,
Yes.
good show,
Good
sir.
show, sir.
Yes, yes,
Yes,
yes,
yes.
yes, yes. All right,
Glug,
so
glug,
let's
glug.
close
All
up
right.
this shit show. God damn it.
God damn it! All right, so we're back to tied. That was Trey brought some good. You brought some good questions.
Thank
dude.
you.
I
Brought it.
Really enjoyed those. Thank you, and it was a pleasure having you on, man.
Thank you for having
Wealth of knowledge. I mean, we all know shit about shit, right? But like when there's like a specialty,
You're
It's
the
always
king
nice.
shit of Fuck Mountain when it comes
dude.
to comics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the guru king shit.
King shit of Fuck Mountain. Yeah.
And till we talk to everyone again, embrace the madness.
Join us at GUIPodcast.com.
Mike the Hobbit here,
Lowdown Brown.
inviting you to check out Geek Some of the Influence, a podcast that pairs booze with conversation with good friends.
And a little nerd culture.
We get a lot of colorful conversation out of our episodes, but it is here for everyone, no gatekeeping.
Always level up everything we do.
We'll punch up, never punch down.
Exactly.
So check out Geeks Under the Influence everywhere you get your podcasts and join us or die.
Shut the fuck up, Hobbit. Welcome to GUI Nights.
GUI Nights.
Yeah, I am Lowdown Brown. With me, as always,
Mike the Hobbit.
this is the tangential side of GUI.
This is like so many of those other shows that has the after the show bit mixed with a little bit of Baywatch Nights, so it's a little sexier. It's a little bit after hours.
Also, while tying it into the previous episode of GUI. So look forward to that too, because this comes out the week after the flagship hour-long episode.
So make sure to check out GUI Nights, and when you're done, you can
Go the fuck home.
In a world with too many reboots and remakes,
two men will stop at nothing to make it even worse.
join Mike the Hobbit and Tondi as they play by their own rules while pitching new takes on some of your favorite and least favorite films and TV shows. What podcast would dare to bring this upon the world?
This is Smack My Pitch Hit.
Hey guys, Scotty P here with Smash on your left. And we are the Geek Fathers. That's right, bringing all the trials and tribulations of being a geeky parent.
So welcome to our world.
And as always, join us
Or cry.
Coming straight from the mouths of madness, I'm Lowdown.
I'm FU Hunter.
Do you love horror?
We fucking do.
So this is a podcast dedicated to all things in cinematic horror. We're talking movies, television, composers, special effects artists. We're gonna fucking cover it.
So if you love horror,
Embrace the madness.
My name is Amy Bogard,
And I'm Mike the Hobbit.
and we are the hosts of Deeply Upsetting, where we use our expertise to answer your most upsetting hypothetical quandaries, such as, what non-winged animal deserves wings?
And what body part deserves a secret mouth?
Which cryptid is the worst roommate?
These questions and more that plague you will be answered on Deeply Upsetting, available anywhere you get your podcasts and at GUIPodcast.com.
In a world of blockbuster movies, there's another dimension.
The dimension of schlock cinema. Join us at Beautiful Disasters on a journey into the fringe territory of B-movie abandon.
We review the flicks that are forgotten or underappreciated to give them a proper place in the annals of celluloid history.
I'm the Groots,
FU Hunter,
your guides at Beautiful Disasters. Come along with us for a fun ride. May
the schlock be with you.